back with probably one of the last lives. I don't expect anybody to show up to a live on Christmas Eve. Maybe we should do it, but I figured the eve before the eve's likely okay, right? So, the eve before the eve's probably all right. How's everybody doing? What's going on, Dave? Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to everybody. And to whatever religion you guys are out there. Also, a happy holidays to that. What's going on, Damien? How are you? How's it going, guys? It's good to see you guys. All right, so today, again, I don't know how active this chat would be, because personally, on a Saturday, the last thing I would want to be doing is watching me live. But if you guys are here, cool. I don't know if we're going to be able to get 60, 70 plus people in here earlier, but we did set records, I think. The only other time that we ever had a bigger stream than some of the ones we've done recently was when we gave away that Pontini. And then we had, I'm doing all right, Damien. Merry Christmas, Dominic. And Dual Dude, Merry Christmas to you as well. We are going to go over whatever you guys want. I have a few products to show you. Some things that I talked about last time I didn't have open. And then I just got them today, surprisingly. So we'll go over a few of those things. And then I just have a few products. Some things to give away, obviously. We have some few actual physical products to give away. Then we'll be giving away a few $100s in gift cards and help you guys kind of spur it up. We can also talk pretty in depth if you want about tools. I can lay more tools out and talk to you about my preferred tool layout. Because I don't know, we can do that too. I know we showed you what to cut with, but then there's all these other tools I got. So we can look at all those things. But let's go ahead and look at the products real quick. So I have over here, I know we talked about EVA foam earlier, right? But I have carpet here, and it still is a really good alternative, and we're going to talk about why. I had to open it up. It's actually, see how much dust's on there? That's how long it's been sitting in my garage. Look. It's a lot. But we're going to bust that thing open with, the trusty old utility knife there. And then we also want to let you guys know, I know these are a little pricey, but they're extremely nice. These little center consoles for bass boats, for you bass boat guys out there. Or for anybody building an aluminum boat up to like a bass boat style and you want a nice console. That's a completely waterproof little compartment in there. A nice little foam pad, so you're really, what do you call them? Like your wallet, keys, phone. Your really valuable items that you don't want to overheat or get messed up. You just need them in an area. In this case, this is going to be, these day boxes in the front and back are going to be what we're kind of going to do to replace this, because we just have a bench back here. But the other bass boat we showed you, theoretically I could have put that in there. The other 1648, but anyways, they're pretty nice. These are pretty high quality. These are one of our bigger things. And then let's talk about jack plates real quick. So we are huge proponents of on the fly jack plates. This is their electric one, but everybody's seen the one that you crank. So it's a pretty genius idea. It acts just like this. This is a linear actuator. You press the button. It electrically goes up and down to raise the motor up and down. The other thing is the same principle. It's just on a hand crank. It's pretty much like a trailer jack inside a jack plate that you can crank with a pretty nice CNC handle. And you can raise it up or down. It is actually not too terribly hard to do it with both hands. Throttle the motor while tuning it up and down. This will make it a little bit easier. We were going to use this on this boat, but if you look at this motor and the other motor we bought, buying the power trim option changes the interface completely. See that interface? That is a normal interface for a big motor. That is a normal, all the bigger motors, 40 horse and up, come with that interface. So the other stock interface that you see on the 25s and lower, those are the portable, motor mount interfaces. And those don't have near these holes, near those size of holes. They don't have any. Those are just universal size holes to mount to any jack plate. If you go and look over here at this Atlas micro jacker, same holes. And so then you have a little bit of adjustment with that hole so you can raise the motor even up a little bit on the jack plates. The motor's always a little bit up. But bigger thing is a low profile. I always try and go for the lower profile jack plate. This one's fairly low profile, but this one has a really high raise. I think this one's raise is higher than this one. Don't exactly know what the max raise on this is, but it's all right. That's a pretty good alternative if you're going to run a 40 horse or bigger or a lower horsepower motor with power trim. I would say the microjacker is probably your cheapest bet. This one, but I say as far as like how it's built, this one is definitely built very well. You can look, and their other one, their annual ones are built just like this, just without the linear actuator. They have the hand crank. But you see that thick UHNW sleeve? That ensures smooth glide of the actual plate, and it's one big gigantic solid 6061 aluminum plate that will not bend ever. And that's a perfect square interface for a normal motor that doesn't have what we just talked about. You know, for a motor mount or for a mounting plate, whatever. I don't know what you call it. You know, I'm talking about what looked like this. And so if you have like an older 2-stroke or you have a newer 4-stroke that doesn't have this big wide deal, then this was perfect. I was kind of heartbroken when I realized this is what had to be done, but you know, I got that motor for a screaming deal, and beggars can't be choosers, I'm going to tell you. So that's where we are at with the 2 jack plates. And I actually have this one for my 60 on my personal boat, which is just still sitting out there. And I think maybe after I get this boat out of my garage, I would really like to stick my personal boat in here. And I'll probably just weld everything right in very quickly. My own style framing. I have my own style framing that I'll push forward. Now this style framing is really just tailored towards the hatches, so all the hatches can drop in everywhere. But when I do it, I'll be making my own hatches. I mean, we had generations of framing before, and then there was a point in time where we had our own lid builders. We made our own hatches with rivets. It's extremely long, tedious process. But you can make your own hatches any size, any shape you want as you go along. So that was but we're starting to steer away from that a little bit as costs rise and some other things go on. I don't know how long the Gen X kits are actually going to be able to stick around. But for the longest time, if you got one of our like Gen X, which is now called build from scratch, if you ever got our build from scratch kits, you could just build an entire boat like this from scratch without a welder, lids, framing, all of it. And then obviously everything that goes on top of it later you could purchase. What's going on, guys? 29 people in the chat. Appreciate it. Can you guys hit a like button? And so we can possibly get that up to 50 or 60. If we can somehow get the likes up and match the number of people that we get the eve before Christmas Eve, it'd be pretty impressive. I think when we get likes up to about 50, we'll start giving some stuff away. All right. And then, but yeah, I was talking about the build from scratch kits are pretty nice. We just haven't done one since I think the V18, the Tracker V18 was the last one where I built those lids straight from scratch. And then there was that Alumacraft, and that's it. But those came out, I thought, exceptionally well for what they were. The advantage, though, with getting these hatches, if you get these hatches, they're going to last probably forever. The other ones, I don't know. I mean, for higher horsepower. So this boat is rated up to like a 60. You could put a 60 on it. This thing will cook at like 35, possibly 40 on a really calm day, depending on the setup. If you got it jacked just right, tilted just right, probably 40 out of this boat with a 60, I would think. Really close to it. And at that point in time, anything over 30, in my opinion, parts of the boats need to start being welded. That's a big point. So I don't really know what the future of this boat is. My future anticipation is that they will want a bigger motor. And it'll probably have to happen. So if that does happen, and they just start to move really quickly with this boat, then the boat's framing will be in line for it. So a lot of it is welded, a lot of it is riveted. I don't foresee the stuff that is riveted to have any problems, and we've already reinforced a lot of that. But yeah, I'm just saying that to think about it, if your boat's going to really, really push it. But a lot of these tiny boats, 12, 14, even the 16-footers, only doing 20 to 25 on average. If they get to 30, 30 is fine. But 30 is a really on the higher end of what a portable outboard in today's time can really do. So unless you're like one of those outboard geniuses and you can still find parts for these 2-strokes, and because there's some people out there that could just fix a motor like nothing. They got a brain for it. Those guys are really lucky. Because you can buy an old Johnson or old Everroot that somebody just cannot figure out for the life of them how to tune up, is tired of it, and they'll just give those motors away. And those motors are actually way more powerful than anything the 4-strokes claim. The 4-strokes claim to have more torque, but I tell you, some of those Everroots, they would plain a whale. I had 125 horse. That thing was just the most powerful 20. It's equal to a 40 now, my opinion. That thing was equal to a 40 horse in today's time. And it only weighed like 110 pounds. Unbeatable. What a relic. BRP. Oh, man. Wish you guys stuck around. All right, guys. 30 bore. Hey, Carrie Bell is still in here? Is Carrie in here? Hey, Carrie. Hey, C Sparks. Into the boys. The cup holder thing actually looks... Yeah, it's pretty nice. Does all right. Got some new people in here. Oh, he was, and he left. Yeah, Carrie's a busy guy. What's going on there, Jeremy? How are you? How are you doing? All right, all right, guys, 40 in here. Well, there was 40 people. Let's try and get, at 50 likes, we're going to give it away. So if you haven't liked this live stream, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And we're halfway there right now. So at 50 likes, we'll start giving things away. We're not going to run this live stream too long. It's a Saturday. You guys probably got things to do. But let's go check out this real quick. The carpet. Now, there are levels to carpet. There is the kind of, ouch. That's really in there, huh? Let's see if I can do this with one hand. My one-handed skills. Without actually cutting the rubber backing, because that'll just really screw it up. There we go. Well, I'm just going to set this thing here for a second. Hopefully the mount holds on that boat. All right, 2 hands. So this is 20-ounce carpet. All right. If you're going to get carpet, I would suggest getting 20 ounce. They even have 24 ounce. That's really thick. But all the stuff that we used, whenever we found out about 20 ounce carpet, and we found out where to get it, and when we used it, if you're going to get carpet, this is absolutely the best stuff to get. There is something nice about carpet. Is it's a nice feeling to it on the deck when it's there. It's pretty solid. It's got a rubber back. This stuff has a rubber backing. That's the difference between marine grade and not in just regular construction grade carpet or whatever house grade carpet. And just the cut pile is different. And this is also snagless. So if I get a lure, let me see. If I get a lure and I start trying to snag that carpet, won't do it. Pull right through it. So I'd say that, well, kind of got it there, but it's like at the very least a small snag that you can immediately yank out. So, and that's a big deal because as many of you probably know, just with bunk carpet or even 16-ounce carpet from Menards or wherever, a lot of people use 16-ounce. That stuff is not stagless. It is also way less comfortable. But the ultimate true, like, comfort hatches that wins is the foamed carpet. That means it has a layer of actual foam underneath, of comfort foam underneath. And underneath the carpet, and then the carpet is wrapped around the lid. And that's pretty good stuff right here. All right, my son called me again. My son, dang, why did he call me? If he calls me back again, I'm gonna have to end this live, so hopefully he figures it out. But anyways, yeah, this is pretty good stuff. And this is pretty cheap. Like verbatim, one big roll of this will carpet a whole boat. Maybe one big roll and one small roll. This is a pretty generous roll. This roll could probably carpet most of this boat. And it's like $100 and some odd. When the HydroTurf, one sheet of that is $150, and then you got to get like 4 or 5 sheets to do a whole boat. So that at that point in time, carpet makes a whole lot of sense cost-wise. But it does not make a whole lot of sense to get cheaper carpet. Like the other carpet, yeah, it is cheaper per square foot or whatever, but this stuff is just so much better than bunk carpet or 16-ounce carpet that to not get 20-ounce snagless marine carpet it's already cheap enough compared to everything else. Just go ahead and get the added benefit of the snagless and the comfort. And we have installation videos. You will have to kind of give it a haircut around the hatches. If you end up getting hatches from us, you know, you'll have to get them. You can choose them to be gap for EVA foam or gap for carpet. So these are gap for EVA foam. So the gap between the lid and the track is very close. And because it's close, when you overlay EVA foam, it looks really good. But because carpet is going to be likely wrapped around inside the track and around the lid, it's going to be much thicker. So the lid is smaller. The compartment is not smaller, but the lid itself has a